Hi guys, thanks for tuning in to another video on ForgottenWeapons.com. I'm Ian McCollum. I am here today at the Defence Academy in Shrivenham in the UK, courtesy of Ares Armament Research Services. We're taking a look at just a couple of interesting British trials rifles today. This, well, we normally do very old weapons. This is a very new weapon. This is the L129A1, and it was adopted as the sharpshooter's rifle by the British military just quite recently. Now, the requirement for this rifle came about from Afghanistan, basically. The UK and the United States and a bunch of other Western countries ended up in combat in Afghanistan and discovered that they really needed a longer range weapon than they could get with a 5.56 carbine. So this led to a bunch of, well, tenders for a bunch of different larger caliber rifles. In the United States, this is what led to M14s being pulled back out of armories, stuck into Sage EBR stocks and scopes, and issued out for long-range shooting. Well, everyone else in Afghanistan kind of faced the same issue. Now, a lot of people adopted the HK417. The British did test the HK417. In fact, this is, I believe, the one that they tested. They also tested the Scar Heavy, this guy, as did a lot of other people. Interestingly, the problem they found with the Scar Heavy was it was too light, and you would lose your sight picture on every shot because the rifle wasn't heavy enough to stay in position. Lightness is great for carrying, but they found it to be detrimental to accurate shooting. Or rather, quick follow-up shots, I should say. So what the British adopted was this. This is LMT's rifle, Lewis Machine Tool out of the United States. It is basically an AR-10, or rather an SR25, chambered for 7.62 NATO, and quite a heavy barrel on it, fitted out as adopted with a bipod and with a pair of optics. So the main optic on here is a 6-power ACOG, which is a fantastic scope, really. It's magnificent. And sitting way up on top of that is a Trijicon RMR, little red dot. The idea is the red dot here is for, oh no, there are people very, very close to me types of shooting. The ACOG is for its standard intended role as a designated marksman's rifle. In that form, it was issued out on the section level. One guy in 8 would get one of these. 3 guys in the section would be trained on it. So if the one guy carrying it gets hit, someone else can take over using it effectively. And it's a quite heavy rifle, which is one of the things that actually played into its favor. It has very little movement upon firing, so you don't lose your sight picture when you shoot, which is a nice thing. Not so nice when you have to carry it around all day, but everything is a balance, of course. One of the other interesting things about the L129A1, which is, by the way, its final adopted designation, is although it was adopted initially as a sharpshooter rifle, they are actually currently looking at extending its role and issuing it out as a sniper support weapon as well. Now, that's not the same as a sniper's rifle. It's the rifle that arms the sniper's support dude. And in that role, I think it would actually make a pretty darn good rifle. What's interesting is they have a slightly different mission requirement for a rifle in that position, in that it needs to be able to engage what they would call near-peer adversaries. So originally, this was intended, the mission of this was Afghanistan, and it needed to be able to engage unarmored personnel. Well, as a sniper support weapon, the requirements are a little bit different, and it's anticipated that an enemy would probably or potentially be wearing body armor, and the standard ball ammo will only penetrate typical modern combat body armor out to 200 or 300 yards, and they want to be able to extend that. So the British are actually adopting, or in the process of adopting, I believe, a new projectile, new ammunition for the 7.62 NATO that includes a semi-armor piercing, a mild steel penetrator, kind of the same sort of idea as the SS-109 62 grain 5.56 ammunition, but in 7.62 NATO. And using that ammunition, this rifle, this system, would be much better suited to that sniper support role. All of that pretty cool. I do want to get this out and actually try running a few rounds through it. I'm not sure that I am capable, in fact, I'm pretty sure I am not capable of using this to its full performance. But let's take it out on the range and see what happens. All right, I have been told that I get a little badge if I can put both rounds through the same hole. So let's see if we can. Nope. Just for kicks, let's try a few rounds offhand. Not really surprising that a heavy rifle is going to be a comfortable one, but this is a very nice piece of kit. Thank you guys for watching. A big thank you to the Defense Academy at Shrivenham for letting me take a look at this very cool rifle, and also to ARES, Armament Research Services, for making this trip possible. If you're interested in this, make sure to check out the ARES blog post that goes along with the video, where you can see some high-res pictures of all three of the British trials guns, but in particular the L129A1 that they adopted. Thanks for watching.